Will always take care of us and our plants. Cisco Morris, he's here. And you know what? We're always talking about trying to get a little more sunshine into our homes, a little greenery, and that is a great thing to do when it comes to indoor plants. I thought this would be the time of year you'd come on to talk about spring and getting outdoors and getting things ready, but you're saying no, it's time to take care of our indoor plants.
Have you been out there? It's terrible out there.
Yeah, no, I'm staying inside with you.
It's cold.
I'm staying
Better
inside with
than
you.
doing indoor plants.
Yes, and these are some absolutely beautiful varieties, but I have to say, you know, at the beginning of the show, I ran out here with George because we do have a big problem because, you know, houseplants can sometimes be a little harder than you think.
It can be really hard to figure out what's wrong with them. These are all easy ones to grow, and look at this. I brought the exact same plant as George, which is famous for being one of the easiest to grow.
Is it a philodendron?
No, this is a pothos.
Right.
It's called the satin pothos, and
the leaves, I always loved it. The leaves are so beautiful and unique.
Beautiful.
When during the pandemic, I was the only one besides our production coordinator Derek. It was George and me on set. This was the only other living thing. So it is important to have our houseplants, and we do love them. Some people call themselves plant moms or plant dads.
Yeah. I couldn't live without lots of houseplants in my house. I have so many, you have to take a malaria pill to walk in the house. But other than that, it's lots of fresh air.
I mean, that's good. And you've brought a couple of your favorites. Show us some of the ones that you think are just a beautiful plant.
Well, so this guy right here, this is a Dracaena, and there's lots of kinds of Dracaenas. They could take the lowest light of almost any house plant.
Okay.
And they're real easy because you don't water them till you see the leaves start to droop.
Okay.
And then you give them a drink.
Are these the ones that start to grow on a stalk?
Yeah,
okay.
So eventually this will grow on a stalk. When it does, you'll take your little cutter here and you'll cut the stalk way down near the bottom. Usually they'll put up 2 or 3.
Okay.
But if not, you could cut that stalk.
But you cut the top of the plant off?
Yeah.
You just cut
yeah, and
the top?
I'd stick that in water or something, see if I can get it at the root.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
And then usually you get 2 for the price of 1 of these growing back.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
easy.
I have one that I bought at a very nice, at that fancy nursery at U Village, and it's like this tall now because I didn't know what to do with it. So now I cut it off.
Just have only one. If it dies, tell everybody somebody else gave you this advice, just in case.
It wasn't Cisco. I just decided to cut it. All right, fair enough, fair enough. So these are beautiful. I've had people give me, these are African violets.
Are the best. And you know, I always stick them in a cool pot like this. And what you do, you never water from above, they get mildew. So what you do, if I can get this guy out of there.
They get stuck in there.
Yeah.
I got it.
So you just put a little water in there, like a ½ inch. Then you stick
in the pot.
Yep.
And then you stick.
Then you put this back in.
Genius.
And then leave it for about a half hour. Then take that back out.
Okay.
And pour out extra water, and then that's the only way to water those. Look at this little cutie.
I know, that one is adorable.
Isn't that nice?
It's like is it a succulent? Is it a plant? Who knows?
Well, it's close relative to peperomia. This is in the nettle family.
Nettle family.
Isn't that something?
Indeed.
And all these little leaves look like coins, so they call it the Chinese money plant.
I have one of those, but it's not as thick, I notice.
Well, yeah, the leaves get this big.
Mine do too. They're beautiful.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
That's a gorgeous plant.
I love these
This
things.
is my other favorite. This looks like a wild animal.
Isn't it cool?
Plant.
Look at how it's purple under the leaf.
Yeah, this is, I think, one of my favorites that
It's
you brought.
called the rattlesnake plant.
Perfect. That makes
so
sense.
Cool. These two are related, and they both do something really interesting. If at nighttime, the leaves curl up, so we call them prayer plants, because the leaves roll up like they're saying a little prayer or something.
That's good to know, because
so cute.
I'd be worried if I woke up and my plant leaves were curled. Be like, what did I do? I need to call Cisco. He'll tell me to cut it off at the stalk. I want to get to more houseplant tips, but I have to ask you about this plant.
Isn't that the coolest
This is
thing?
like a plant with studs.
So this was on the rare plant table. And so this is a Rex Begonia. What's the name of that? I can't remember.
Begonia ferox.
Ferox. And so I paid $40 for that little plant right there, but I snuck that in when Mary wasn't home. I didn't want her to see me bring that in.
They look like a pair of
Stuart
Weitzman shoes. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, it's just so neat. And this is a Rex Begonia.
Okay.
But it's a lot cheaper because it's a regular one. These, the one thing I want to tell people, these don't like getting cold. So even when I brought them down, I heated up the car first and talked to it really nice on the way down, just in case it needed a little support.
I gotta ask, when you bring a houseplant home, where do you put it? You said like this guy can live without light, but what about if you don't know? What is the best go-to for
That's
plants?
the thing. Well, you read the tag or the description.
Okay.
And it'll say, you know, this needs bright light, but no sunlight, whatever. So I'll try and find a good spot. I have these sheer curtains in a west window.
Okay.
Most of my plants love that spot. Plus, it doesn't get so cold from my Canadian wife opening all the windows at night, you know.
Mary is going to come down here, and I'm going to hide.
So I, you know, now this needs full sun. This is little bear paws. Such a
Oh, wait, they're
cutie.
so cute. And
Oh,
this is a succulent, is it not?
Yeah, and these turn bright red when they're in good sun in the house. So I read the tag, try and put them where they're happy. But if they're not happy, I move them. I try another spot.
All right, that's such good advice. I have so many more questions, and I wanted you to help with George. We may not get to that because I want to hear about France.
Oh, I love France so bad. We were
you?
down in southern France. We were in Cassis, Nice, and Menton. Menton's right down on the border of Italy. Look at the views while we're hiking. All these hikes go town to town right along the Mediterranean. We went to this Villefranche-sur-Mer city. We were walking through it. They were having this big festival where these guys, they decorate these boats with flowers, then they throw the flowers to the people. It's an ancient thing they've been doing for thousands of years. And just how beautiful. I think that's Menton. Yeah, that's Menton, which is one of my favorite towns.
Wow.
And this is the big lemon festival we went to.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that.
So
fun.
Cool. Oh, yeah, it was rock and roll and opera.
Oh, my
and they
gosh.
had opera singers come by and then rock and roll.
Look at you hiking away.
Am I a stud in those yellow shoes
You
or
sure
what?
are. You look, honestly, you look so happy. I can't even.
I'll tell you, I was happy.
All right, well, we're glad to have you back. We didn't get to George, so I'm gonna have you take care of George.
Okay, George, you're gonna get a haircut, buddy.
George is gonna get a haircut. Thank you, Cisco.
Oh, thanks. Too fun.
Too fun. All right, well.